Amandla. Forward to socialism, forward. Forward to socialism, forward. Phansi nge-capitalism, phansi. Phansi nge-austerity, phansi. Phansi nge-budget cuts, phansi. Viva SACP, viva! Viva SACP, viva! Phansi ngorhwaphilizo, phansi. Phansi nge-factionalism, phansi. Phansi nge-buying of votes, phansi. Phambili nge-ANC, phambili. Phambili nge-ANC, phambili. An injury to one. An injury to all. Viva Kosatu, viva! Viva Kosatu, viva! Wathinti mama, wathinti mbokodo, phansi ngohlukumezo lo mama phansi. Viva ANC Men's League, viva! Viva ANC Men's League, viva! Roar young lions, roar! Viva ANC Youth League, viva! Phambili nge-PYA, phambili. Amandla. Awethu. Phambili nge-reconfiguration of the alliance, phambili. Thank you very much, Program Director. Let me take this opportunity to salute the leadership of the ANC in the province, led by Comrade Lerumo as a convener, Comrade Tande as a coordinator. Siyakuvuyela that ultimately nikwazile to convene this August event. The conference of the ANC, a platform to reflect on the direction and the trajectory of our shared national democratic revolution. Comrade Chair, is a fundamental basis to ensure that we emerge out of this 9th provincial conference capable of inspiring confidence to the majority people of this province and instill fear to the enemies of our revolution. We must struggle on two fronts. The struggle against regressive tendencies on the one hand, and the struggle against the discredited Western imperialist, neoliberal, and austerity trajectory on the other hand. Those are fundamental struggles which this conference needs to engage on as fundamental basis to renew our movement and redirect our shared national democratic revolution. Let us raise the struggle against all this from the renewal and rebuilding of this glorious movement need to be located within a partner context, inspired by the leader of the Vietnamese Communist Party, An Ho Chi Minh. Quote and close quote, Uti, just as a river has a source to have water, without a source, the river dries up. The tree must have a root. If there is no root, the tree will wither. A revolutionary must have morals. Without morality, no matter what potential he or she might have, cannot lead the people in our revolution. Close quote. Now, what are therefore these regressive tendencies we must confront here in this conference and emerge differently out of this conference? They include the key, amongst other things, politics of regionalism, sexism, racism, auctioning of delegates through the use of money, where delegates are made commodities, where they are bought and sold to the highest bidder. This is not an auction. auction of the direction and the leadership which must emerge out of this conference. This is a political school to renew our movement. We must combat factionalism. Let's face it, comrade, honestly, let's be brutal. I am a member of the ANC. The period under review has been met with factionalism, where politics within the movement have been either CRized or Ariitized, CRization and Aritization of the body politics of our movement has been a problem, and that is why we are where we are. Let's face it. Yes. There might be some new realignment, but such presented a threat for the renewal of the ANC and the reconfiguration of the alliance, if you like. Let's face it, comrades. Erosion of political accountability, where leaders can no longer account about political matters and resources of these organizations. Demobilization and manipulation of organizational processes. Comrades, let us reclaim our true values, true character of our movement. Our conference is not an auction, as I indicated, it's a political school. Let us expose and isolate those who go around carrying bags full of money stolen from the state. The renewal must restore the true revolutionary values of our movement by ensuring that we slay the monster of counter-revolutionaries in all forms and from all angles. If not, our movement, when you talk about the movement, we refer to the ANC, we refer to the party, we refer to COSATU, we refer to the mass democratic movement, if you like. This movement, it will wither like a river without a water, source or a tree without a root. Uprooting these tendencies require a leadership collective that is firmly grounded on revolutionary theory and principle. A transformative leadership that listens and acts fairly. A leadership with high revolutionary morality, and most important, a leadership that is grounded and responsive on the struggles of our people. Where are our people? Our people as we speak, Bagumbuze Manzini, here in Cape Town, our people as we speak are facing retrenchment. Our people as we speak are dying of poverty. Our people as we speak are unemployed. Our people as we speak are facing retrenchment. Those are the primary motive forces of our revolution. Amandla! 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 Viva ANC, viva! Viva ANC, viva! Thank you very much. Yabona ke, comrade, Comrade SG, Women Bugs, uyafika apha wamkelwa ndim. Is it not a reflection of a reconfiguration of the alliance in practice? Siyayenza lento in action. Comrades, it's a privilege and honor ndithetha ungeno SG. Xa ngekho uzizi ndim usekretary onyulweyo. Comrades, let us wage the struggle against the Western imperialist, neoliberal and austerity trajectory as a second front. Comrades, neoliberalism as a developmental stage of capitalism reproduces class inequalities, poverty, joblessness, because its basic logic is nothing but profit maximization. Therefore, neoliberalism as the present economic trajectory we are pursuing is responsible for the abandonment of productive sectors of our economy in favor of speculative economy, financialization of our economy. That we must reject, because it seeks to displace jobs or shared jobs. Neoliberalism is responsible for joblessness. It is responsible for the present challenge or crisis of load shedding. It is responsible for the escalation of levels of crime. It is responsible for the overcrowding in schools. It is responsible for the arrogance that some liberals can even impose or force us to abandon the tool of the revolution, that of a catered deployment policy. This conference must reaffirm catered deployment policy as a tool for the revolution. We are not going to be told by liberals and their institutions how we must execute the national democratic revolution. They must win elections and do whatever they want. Here in the Western Cape, since the DA took over, displaced black professionals across departments, be it provincial or local government. We are proud of our catered deployment. It must not, though, be a patronage deployment policy. We must deploy capable, committed, and theoretically grounded cadres of our movement. Deploy yabhasi who are responsible for the collapse of our state under our own watch. Comrades, neoliberalism is responsible for the opening of the floodgates for the wholesale privatization of SOEs. Makabane, as the SACP said, no to privatization of all state-owned companies and entities. Privatization ayo yethu, the prescript of Western imperialist institutions such as the IMF, the World Bank, and OECD countries. If this government, national is the government of the people for the people, must respect the people and ensure policies are in the interest of the people, not of Western imperialists. That we reject, comrades. And that is why we insist that our government must be different. The second last point, and this point brings us to the matter about the reconfiguration of the alliance. Masivuye that the alliance, the SACP and the ANC will have bilaterals on the 1st of July, but not for the first time. And the matter is about the reconfiguration of the alliance. What do we mean by reconfiguration of the alliance? There are forces, comrades, within the body politics of our movement who are bent to vulgarize the discourse about the reconfiguration of the alliance. In their state of power hunger, they reduce the reconfiguration debate to a power hunger. They reduce it to reconfiguration debate to deployment debate. Communists here in the Western Cape have been victims of purging, of manipulated processes, but we remained loyal to the movement, because for us, this alliance is not just about deployment. That is why not a single communist in the legislature. Despite this marginalization, we still committed. The policy position on the reconfiguration of the alliance seeks to ensure that our alliance adapts to the present political conditions, which are contested by the regressive tendencies which we have outlined above. For example, let me not get into that one. In a sense, by a reconfiguration of the alliance, we refer to the development of a common alliance committed to defend and advance our shared national democratic revolution based on the vision of the Freedom Charter. Such a reconfigured alliance must be guided by the desire for consensus amongst the organs of the alliance on the following matters. This debate must not be a debate of the elite leaders. It must find expression here. In this plenary and in commission, that we say there must be a common analysis of the socio-economic conditions facing the primary motive forces of our people, the working class, followed by a common socio-economic approach program, manifesto development, and its joint implementation by adequately inclusive alliance leadership in all key sites of power and terrains of struggle. That is done by us, not by proxies of the international capitalist market forces who are deployed to infiltrate our movement. The second point, conducting of an alliance candidate based on common alliance discipline during the elections campaign, as well as alliance public reps and office bearers afterwards. Provisions enabling elected SACP, COSATU, SANGO reps to articulate independent perspectives where they are deployed within the framework of a reconfigured alliance, so that communists are not found advancing and defending neoliberal policies of privatizations of entities of the state. That we don't accept. Common approach on binding democratic consensus seeking consultation to the coalitions when it becomes necessary to seek coalition partners post-election based on the results of elections. So, no decision must be taken about our revolution without all the forces existing in the movement. And that includes the organs of the alliance. That's what you mean in brief about the need to reconfigure the alliance. That the alliance becomes the strategic political center of power without liquidating the independence of all the organs of the alliance. They remain independent and autonomous. Comrade Chair, as I sit down, what are the most important tasks living out of this meeting as the alliance in the group? The first one, as we live here, we should find expression in the declaration and program. Institutionalization of political and ideological development from the PEC to the branch level. We must dispel the notion that because you serve in the PEC and REC, therefore you have reached the ceiling of grasping the theory of our revolution. Zonke tipin. Institutionalization of mass work such as marches, picketing. It cannot be correct that our interface with the people is reduced only during election periods. That in between elections, we are able to reconnect with our people, learn from them, work with them. What are we going to say to our people as Asbak 2021? Regular political council at both provincial and regional level. Focus on sectoral work beyond elections. Prioritize the labor movement. The labor movement is fragmented because of neoliberal policies which have fragmented or restructured workplaces. In workplaces today, abasebenzi baneziduko in the form of co-workers, casualized labor brokers, including EPWP. Actually, it does appear that EPWP is becoming a new form of cheap labor led by the state. It cannot be correct. You are in the EPWP for a particular period, you must be absorbed as a full-time worker, so that because the same EPWP is counted for the stats for employment. Employ EPWP workers full-time. Comrades, as the SS we say, on the 7th of July, there must be a picketing. AUCT, our national government, will be holding a graduation of the Nelson Mandela Fidel Castro Brigades. Upper Western Cape is the only province which is not utilizing the program of sending potential students to Cuba to be trained as doctors, and the national government need to intervene and select potential students directly from the Western Cape so that they can be able to benefit from this program. Let us have a program to address the issue of the race system, particularly the central line. But equally, we must have a program to deal with the nexus between the criminal network, certain elements from business, raw community leaders, the extortionist ebusuku. If we don't address the issue of extortion, next time, the next provincial chair, even though the side of the SACP, will be appointed or influenced by these extortionists. As we speak, we need to ensure that here we resolve on the lifestyle audit of all leaders of the alliance, from the province to the region, so that there must be a relationship between your lifestyle and your sources of income, as basis to deal with any attempt which may lead to the infiltration of our movement. See, we are criminals and thugs within this movement. Comrades, we wish the ANC non-conference ibe impumelelo, and that leadership elected and decisions will indeed be carried out and help us preparing for 2024. Amandla. Elilizwe lelamakomanisi azoze aphela mandla. Elilizwe lelamakomanisi azoze aphela mandla.